Hi there, I've got a different card today showing one of the stamps to die for. I just thought it'd be nice to show how it matches up with the Bermuda die. It's very, very pretty. So we'll run you through the list of what we'll be using in today's video. Here is the Moroccan Rose. This is a stamp from the Stamps to Die For line. Whoops. The Finishing Touches Spring Foliage. We'll be using the accent piece here. We've stamped our sentiment from the Sweet Wishes clear stamp set. I'm going to be using the striped nasturtiums as a floral element. On the edges, we've used the rippled petite striplet, just to give a little bit of detail around our stamped image. And this is what we'll be cutting out the stamp with. This is the Bermuda die from the Atlantic Ocean collection. Okay, pop those to the side. Now, I've already gone and cut one of the rippled striplets into the edge here. I'll give you a quick measurement. This is 7 3/4 by 5 1/4 inches. I'm going to go ahead and bring this in, do the other side. So it comes in two pieces. We're just using the decorative die. We'll line that up and put a little bit of tape on it. Just try to get it equidistant from the other one. And if you want, if you're unsure, you can always kind of bring in your ruler and see if it lines up. That looks pretty straight. I'm good with that. And bring over my cutting plate. Pop this on, and I want to run that down the rollers this direction. Give it a quick run through. There we go. Pop that out. That back on our mat, move that out of the way. So now you can see I've got a really nice accent on both sides. Now I've gone ahead and done one ahead of time with a little bit of mounting foam, and I've just matted it white on white. So you get a little bit of detail showing from the edge. I'm going to pop that into the center of my backing. And I did have an email recently. Somebody asked me, how do you decide what thickness mats and layers you used? And I thought, it's really kind of a personal preference. If you like having a little more edge showing, then make it a little wider. I tend to make the colored edge that matches the rest of my card thinner, and then do a wider backing piece behind it. But it is absolutely your choice on that. There is no hard, fast rule, so just to let you know about that. So that's ready to go. So the next thing I've done is I have stamped the Moroccan Rose and just colored it with some bright colors, because what we're going to do is we're going to cover it with a sticky adhesive piece. So I'm just going to peel the backing off on that. Pop this down. Now there's a couple ways you can go about this. You can cut it like it is now, and you tend to have to kind of look up to the light to get it lined up, but then you don't waste the glitter on the center. I personally find it's easier to cut it with the glitter on it. It's a little bit extra, but I can use it for something else if I want, so I'm not fussed. I'm going to peel this up and just take that off. Bring in a piece of copy paper. Move those off to the side. We're going to put some diamond sprinkles on it. There we go. And if I've got this all glittered, I can see exactly what I'm doing, and I find it's just a little bit easier that way. It's personal preference. If you're a little short on glitter and you don't want to waste any, you can cut it with the backing paper on it and then only glitter what you need. It's nice. There's always a couple different ways that you can do anything when you're crafting, so it just depends on which way you prefer. So I'm going to bring in the outer cutting edge from the Bermuda. I'm going to lay it upside down, cutting edge down, so it goes around that. And we are going to tape that right into place. There we go. Try and get a little bit of the non-glitter so it'll stick there. Run that through. And it cuts through that without any issue whatsoever. There we go. Pop off the outer bit, and let's take our tape off. little bit left there. There we go. So you can see you've got a really pretty little edge that comes around that. I really like the way that looks. Now what I've also done is I've taken it and I've stamped it a second time, and I've just colored in a little bit of the flowers here and stamped my sentiment in the middle. And then I've used this die to cut the inside out. So now it'll line up exactly with that picture, and I'm not going to glitter that piece. So I think it'll give it a really pretty look. But because I have the glitter there, I've got to make sure to add a bit of glue to the background and give that a good coating and line that right up over the top so you'll just pick up the same roses as you push that down. I think that's really pretty like that. So I'm going to bring in the backing piece that we did earlier and a little piece of mounting foam. Let's cut that. Put a couple on there. I'm going to seat that in between our striplets. Like that, and I want to add a floral element too. So I'm going to set that to the side for a moment. I've got my striped nasturtiums. Now I've just gone around the edge with a pink pen. Now I happen to have used an alcohol-based pen, so when I wet these, they're not going to bleed. But it's totally your call. If you want to use a water-based pen, you'll get a little bit of that real pretty bleed through. I wanted it to be a more distinct edge. There we go. I'm going to give them a little scrunch. And just sort of accordion, fold them so they're hill and valley like an accordion, back and forth. And I just use my thumb to kind of fold that cardstock underneath and around. So you can do all of these. I do like the way that this flower comes out. It's a little less formal looking. I think it's quite pretty. And there's absolutely no way that you can go wrong doing one of these. Always comes out so pretty. There we go. Let me get a piece of kitchen roll. Just wipe that excess water up. So you want to let these dry and then stack them with a bit of glue. Now I do have one already done, but you can see how they'll stack really nicely together. So once they're good and dry, you'll end up with a really pretty flower like these. And I've just put a little pearl in the center of those. So I'll go ahead and use these. I've got a little bow that I've tied from some white satin ribbon. And I'm going to just seat that with a glue dot down in this corner. And we'll add our flowers around that. So I can do a larger one here and maybe the smaller one off to the side. Little glue dot, and we'll just push our loops out of the way there. And then I'm going to add just a bit of the foliage from the spring foliage set. I'm going to put one up here like that, and I'll use a larger one down on the bottom. Just lift it up and slide it underneath there. So pretty. So now you've got an absolutely gorgeous flower. The card is pretty, you've showed off your stamped image, and I think it just comes all together. Really like the way this one looks. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and you'll look for us again soon on our YouTube channel, and don't forget, subscribe to it.